Do you have habits that you still follow from being in? Yeah, most definitely. Um, Being in prison for almost 17 years, being incarcerated, being around some of the worst, it put me in a situation where I had to learn to be on point. Um, Whether it was just with my eyes or in the midst of a conversation, etc. Just learning to pay attention to the environment because the majority of the individuals in prison, they're not your friend. They're there to try to get something from you, manipulate, get over, whatever it is. Most of the time, that's what the interaction's about. Not all the time. You got some sincere people, you know what I mean? But that's just what the environment breeds. You got a lot of people, that are desperate. A lot of people that are in need of things. A lot of people just trying to survive, I guess what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm on point probably more than the average person. My loved ones always say, "Oh, you overthink things, you overanalyze," but it's not that. It's just me having to be protective of myself, and now coming out here in the world, seeing what's going on, and having to be protective of my loved ones. But some other, I guess, not so deep habits that came with me, honestly, is some of the lingo. Prison has its own lingo, so every now and then it'll slip up, it'll come out of my vocabulary. I think I called staff dining, or excuse me, I called the student lounge staff dining, which I keep doing. That's more of a prison term. Things like that. As far as how I live, I noticed that I like to close the doors of the rooms that I'm not in or that I don't frequent. Maybe it has something to do with me not having to scan as much or having to pay attention as much, because when I was locked up, I was always either in a cell where I could easily see my surroundings when I went to rest and relax, or I was in a dorm where I could see everything around me because there's no hallways and stuff and rooms. But here there is, which might sound weird to you guys, but it's what happens when you're locked up for that, X amount of years. You get institutionalized. I still get up to this day about 5 in the morning, which was a habit I created for myself while I was incarcerated, just because I wanted to stay active. So yeah, these are the things. Anybody that's been incarcerated, they've been impacted, they've been affected, they may bring some traits home. Hopefully they're not nothing crazy, because I've heard some crazy stories. For me, there's small things that I'm growing out of, I'm getting better with. But again, I was there for almost 17 years, so to unlearn certain things, it's definitely going to take time. Good question. Great question. About to get back to this workout. Keep them coming. Bring the questions, man. I love giving the answers, man. Till next time. Peace. Hopefully you got something from that.